Hey everyone, I'm Lisa Copeland and I'm a dating coach that helps women over 50 find love. And today I have a really special guest with me. She is one of my clients who found her guy, and her name is Georgena. Welcome, Georgena.
Good morning. Well, it's nice to be here, Lisa.
And I wanted Georgena to share her story because, Georgena, do you mind sharing with everyone your age?
No, I'm 71.
And I wanted to share with all of you her adventure because so many women think that in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, they can't find love. And Georgena did. And so we're going to talk about how that happened and how that worked for her. And she's so happy. She's sitting here glowing and her guy's so cute. So Georgena, before we met and started working together, what was going on in your dating life?
Not much.
Okay.
I had been in a series of relationships, and each time realized that that wasn't the person for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was back on Match, and not being liked by the type of person that I wanted to be liked by. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was in this place of showing up every day, checking, responding, and it wasn't a fit. It wasn't a match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you weren't really dating then? You were, what do you think your biggest fear was when all this was going on? What do you feel your biggest fear was about dating at the time? Did you think you would find love? What were you afraid of?
Basically, it was what's wrong with me. I knew that there were so many good things about me, but I also knew that there was something about me that wasn't working because I was attracting the wrong kind of man.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fear was really, you know, I don't know how to do this.
Is that when you reached out?
Well, it was interesting because I was on Facebook, and I'm rarely on Facebook, and your quiz came up.
Hmm.
And so that was the opportunity then to connect, and we reached out and connected with one another.
So you found your guy.
Yes.
And where did you find him? Where did the two of you attract each other to?
On Match.
On
He,
Match, the place
mhm,
you weren't getting any
right.
responses or the right men.
Mhm.
So what do you think shifted for you? How do you think you were able to do that? Find the right man this time?
You had me go off of Match, write, helped me write a very dynamic profile, and shift my belief that men are good people and that they're fun to be with. And yes, it really was something I wanted to do, and there's nothing wrong with me.
No, there's not. So how did you finally realize that? What from working together, what brought you to that place of I'm really an amazing person and I'm a prize, I'm the catch? What brought you to that?
It was listening to your wonderful podcasts and showing up with the group calls on
Mhm.
those Monday nights.
I
Mhm.
think you're meaning by the podcast, the
Uh,
step-by-step program
yes,
that you
yes,
did.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. And I
And
listened to those very faithfully.
oh, yeah, that's a big thing. How about your quality man template? Every woman that comes into my community creates what's called a quality man template, and that helps you figure out who it is that you really want. So, how do you think that made a difference for you?
It was a really great thing for me to be able to look back at my marriage and then subsequently the men that I had dated, and realized what I was wearing rose-colored glasses with most
Hmm.
of them. There were a couple where I had my blue glasses on, Lisa, and I was grateful for that. And then it was an opportunity for me to get really, really clear, committing to paper, why I wanted to be in a relationship, because I have a wonderful life as a single woman. And it was, why do you really want to do this? And the single man template gave me the opportunity to realize, oh, he's a reflection of my consciousness. I'm a reflection of his. And I need to play more in my life. And so it would be wonderful to have a man to go and play with.
Yeah, and it is great. So how is that? Are you doing fun things? What
Oh,
kind of things are you
yes,
doing?
we all are indeed. We go wine tasting. We are meeting each other's friends, which is really fun. And
Mhm.
then we're exploring the two cities that we live in and do touristy things. And it's lots and lots of fun. Lately, we just went to the Van Gogh exhibit. It was part of his birthday present. And oh, what it brought me to tears. It was such a stunning experience.
So you're having fun, and that's really the goal. Did dating become more fun for you once you had your quality man template and you had the 8 steps in the program that you were listening to as well as the calls? What became fun for you then about dating, which was probably like torture before dating?
Mhm. It was like, oh, the first date is meet and greet. It took away the fear of that. Oh, just go and have a cup of coffee. See what
Yeah.
it's like.
It's a whole different mindset to date from versus dating from the place of I have to find the one right
Right.
away.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that is like the prescription for failure, literally, because you probably didn't know he was the one when you went on that first date. You probably knew you just liked him, right?
Well,
What
it
did
was
you
interesting because it's a unique experience. I followed your advice to a T, and it was good advice because he liked me on Match. I read his profile, I liked him back and sent him an email. And then he was obviously one of those people who is a great communicator and was writing heartfelt, interesting emails. So after a week, I used your line, I would like to put a voice to these emails. And so when we talked on the phone, oh, it was just like my heart was so happy because I could feel his maturity and playfulness. And it was really, really nice. Well, because we live in two different cities, Lisa, we were on the phone with one another for 3 weeks before we ever met in person.
Oh, that's a long time.
It was. So finally we got together and it was for coffee. And the first date was 4 hours long, coffee, a walk, a kiss, and it was just great. And I still showed up nervous because when I had the coffee, my hand was shaking. And I said to him, oh, can you believe this? I thought I knew you, and here my hand is shaking. So I made a joke of it, which was really lovely. Had I not been in with you as my dating coach, I know I would have thought, oh, I shouldn't be shaking. We've talked hours on the phone. So you kept teaching me that this is fun and there is somebody out there, and he is wonderful. 3 years ago, Lisa, I wrote in my little prayer pocket, I'm calling in the available one with whom I have a sacred contract, dot, 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 from the Quality Man template. And he is.
Oh,
It's
that is
wonderful.
so wonderful. And the neat thing about that quality man template is kind of like a shout out to the universe. This is what I don't want anymore. And it's your old type who, if he worked, you'd be with, versus like this is who I want. And so it sounds like who you wrote in there is exactly who showed up.
And it's absolutely true. And the most precious tool of all that you gave me was the deal breakers list.
Oh, why?
Well, because in the past I've settled.
Oh,
And so, and my son had said in my last relationship, Mom, you're settling. And it was very interesting to hear him say that. And people you love want you to be happy. And
sure.
so it was very interesting because I shared this list with my guy before we ever met. because I told him I had a dating coach and that I was really serious about this, and he was intrigued.
Oh.
And so when I shared the list, it was so funny because when I got to no STDs, he said, "What are those?" And so I shared what it was. Well, on our second date, he said, "I have something for you." He went to his car, he got an envelope, and he had had that done for me.
Oh, that's a good guy. That
He,
is a good guy.
he is a good guy.
You could
Uh,
just see the glow in you.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
No, it was
Ah,
so interesting. Emerson said, the dice of the universe are loaded, and they're loaded in your favor." Well, thanks to working with you, I know that's the truth for me.
oh, Georgina, you did the work. I can provide the steps, but you did the work, and that is the real key. So that leads me to our last question, and that is, what would you say to a woman who's watching this right now and feeling too scared to even try and date? What advice would you give her?
Don't do this alone. It was very, very important to me to hear from the other women in our group on those group calls, Lisa,
Hmm.
because it was like, "Oh, she's struggling. She's struggling. Oh, I want to be like her. Oh, that's a nugget that she said." Because in those calls, you gave us a safe container to me, and you gave us things to think about and discuss. And I always loved, "What are you taking away at the end?" And it was a real opportunity to know every single one of us is a treasure.
Yeah, it's true.
Mhm, mhm.
That's
So
true. So
don't do this alone, especially at this time on the planet. There's so much divisiveness. It's important to know we're more alike than we are different. And that goes for men as well as women.
yeah, yeah. And it is hard to do alone because
Mhm,
you can't, our emotions get in the way and we cannot see what we're doing wrong.
mhm.
And we can't see what we're doing right either sometimes. And having that feedback from a coach and a group really reflects that. Would you say, wouldn't you
Yes,
say?
yes, yes. And then I'm a person that needs information. So
Hmm.
for me, by listening to your 8-step program, it gave me information. And I'm going to go back and listen to it next week when I'm on vacation.
Even though you got the guy.
Absolutely. Because we're people, and we've got, things that work and don't work. And it's like, "Oh, remember this? Oh, yes." So yours program is the gift that keeps on giving, at least to me, Lisa.
Oh, thank you, Georgina. And I'm so glad you were here with us. And I hope for you women who are listening to this that you realize you can find love at any age, and like Georgina did. And she, look at her glowing, and she's having so much fun. Georgina, thank you for being a guest. Any last words that you want to share with women before we go about dating and about, overcoming those fears? Any other last words that got you to the guy, or anything that got you to the
Mhm,
guy?
mhm. So the last words to each of you are, go look in the mirror and say to yourself out loud, "I am the prize he's looking for."
And that is something that we work on every time we are all together, is that you are the prize, because as women, you forget that.
Mhm.
And you just don't remember it because people haven't reflected it to you in so long. And are the prize, and you got the guy. You came into that mindset and you
Yes.
really got the guy.
Mhm.
So I'm so excited for you, and
I
thank you
am
for
too.
doing this.
You're
And if
welcome.
and if any of you are interested in finding out more about how to find love at this time in your life, look in the description below, because we share how to make that happen for you too. Okay, everyone, believing in you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.